Brutality movement has grown far beyond anyone's expectations.
9 News has learned the Cincinnati Police Division, under fire for the way officers use force, will now have the moves they make examined in a brand new way. 9 News reporter Sean Lay has discovered citizen patrols plan to follow officers. And Sean, those patrols will be armed with video cameras?
They need to go. They treating black people wrong. They some bootlegs cops, man. They should get some cops that's on a ball right now.
April 7th, man. Timothy Thomas was being apprehended by some police officers who was just out doing their regular harassing folks, and he was just one that cared about his life and ran. The assassin, Roach, and his lying friends came through this way right here and shot him for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And that was what added up to the Cincinnati unrest.
After Stephen Roach shot Timothy Thomas, the 15th black man that had been shot, no white people shot during that whole time since 1995, and since then a number more have been killed as well.
So when April 10th came, it was like, boom, a bubble busted. And it was like, who would have thought that Cincinnati, out of all the cities in the United States, would have been the first city in the millennium to jump off a riot?
There was always this critique that people say that people were tearing up their own neighborhood. Well, home ownership in this neighborhood is 3%. People weren't tearing up their own neighborhood. That's bullshit. People were upset, and they were looking for a way to vent their anger.
Ever since the riots, you got children when they're in the car with adults and they get pulled over by the police, they get out with their hands up in the air like that, you know, just so that they won't get shot. But and it offends the police. You know what I'm saying? It offends them, but they can't be mad because that's what they do.
People in Cincinnati are pissed off. I think April proved that to pretty much everybody around the world.
I mean, me being a young black male in this environment, I recognize and came to a solid fact that in order to bring change, it starts with one person. So if I feel it within myself to change, then I have to step up and do that on my own. But with the aid of others, with the same alike mind state, the same goal, the same focus, trying to get to that same place, we can do it.
Is 9 News at 5.
Some human rights groups in Denver say they want to start monitoring the police department here. The idea comes from a non-profit volunteer organization in California called Cop Watch.
Our first big success, was the Cinco de Mayo cruising. We had a friend of ours who went out to Federal Boulevard over the Cinco de Mayo weekend, in which tens of thousands of young Chicanos cruise, which is a traditional Western activity here in the United States. You drive up the street, you drive down the street, and you meet members of the opposite sex and get their phone numbers. And you also decorate your car in honor of the holiday Cinco de Mayo. Well, the police response to that had been really outlandish. They had roadblocks that were keyed on what race you were, and we were able to document that on video. Every instance of a car being pulled would lead to either arrest or the car being impounded. What we did is we took that to the Chicano organizations on the west side and showed them that film and got them together and created our first attempt to monitor the police here in Denver. And what we did is we called it United Families for a Safe Cinco de Mayo. We actually got middle-aged people out from the Chicano movement in the 70s and put them on every street corner along Federal Boulevard and had them watch the police as they interacted with the kids.
And I was wondering if the Cop Watch team got down there with you. The Cop Watch is here with us. All right, you got a party, have fun. Thank you very much, we digging it up.
And we were able to make a gigantic change. We were able to get the police to change their policies on how they treated cruisers. And I think the year before we started, there'd been over 3,000 tickets issued and over 200 arrests. The second year we were out there monitoring, we got it down to 15 citations and no arrests.
Sean, I'm kind of curious. Can these people get in any trouble by following police with cameras?
Very good, legitimate question. Actually, they're okay legally as long as they are on public property, not going onto any private property, and as long as they don't interfere with any of the police activity they intend to tape.
The laughable part about this is that you think that we don't want you to come out. Step away, okay?
You don't have any choices.
Or you need to back up. I'm Lieutenant Stone, the watch commander.
If I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't care that you're there. You're perfectly able and capable of watching from afar. I'm asking you to step back!
It's an officer safety issue.
The safety zone, a safe distance.
Safety situation. Okay, and you're not trying to restrict my ability to observe at all.
I need you to do it from where we're safe.
You go ahead, you're safe. You're all right. Hey, excuse me.
Mr. Patton.
Here or whatnot, don't photograph in that way.
Why?
Why? Because it's a crime scene and you're not entitled to. How's that?
I can't film it? Are you saying that I cannot film it? Or what are you saying? Just explain yourself.
I'm just saying, stay out of the area right now. You can go back on that side of the street. Wherever you want to shoot from there is fine.
We have the right to observe. That right comes from the Constitution. Our right to free assembly, our right to free speech. We're allowed to be on a public sidewalk unless there's a specific reason that the police have for closing that sidewalk. So if you're standing there watching the police and there's members of the public walking by on the sidewalk, but the police officer looks at you and tells you that you have to leave, that's the time to assert your right to observe. And that is constitutionally protected activity.
I'm sorry? No, sir, it's not. If you can stand right behind that line as I've asked you. Yes. Thank you.
Over the years, police officers who initially were resistant to us, who initially had some suspicion or hostility towards us, now it's pretty much standard that when they see a cop watcher with a clipboard and a pen, they will offer their badge number to us because they have come to expect that that's what we're going to ask them for.
Would you like my name and business card?
Oh, if you'd like to give it to me, I'm just observing. It's my right.
My badge number is on my badge, 90.
129. That's the one you ate.
My name is Sergeant Randolph Files.
The officers aren't going to lie about their names.
I'm John Doe.
You're actually a police officer.
Whether you're a victim of police misconduct or you simply witness it, officers are required to be identified by either a nameplate or a badge number. Remember, these are not secret police. These are public servants.
Here in Denver, there's a departmental regulation that requires police officers to give you a business card that has their name and badge number on it.
If you forget everything you've heard in this week or last week, all you need to know, get the badge number, stay calm, don't escalate the situation, and just record whatever you see.
But that's a black. You can't even see that. Back up.
Get the badge number! I'm gonna get the badge number! Go get that, go get that, go get that.
If you ever see a cop that you're thinking is acting out of procedure, out of line, or something like that, get that badge number.
Hey, when you guys grab my bike? Too bad.
On his arrest slip.
What I'm asking you, what is it?
You got him up. Here you are.
All officers do have to wear their badges, and when asked, they should give you their badge number.
Officer, she's got a right to ask your badge number.
is no matter what you see, you need to know who the officer was so that you can have a chance of seeing justice done.
Blocking the sidewalk! Hey, we got a right to observe. That's right! You're blocking the sidewalk and I'm telling you to move. What's your badge number? Badge 677, back off! Right here, man! Right there. Take one. That's called loitering in the park. We got a right to observe. Hey, don't worry.
It's important to know your rights, and it's important to assert them.
Hey, Val! Keep that camera put on it.
On the one hand, having a camera is a great thing, and it can teach others, but the other aspect of cop watching is that we have to directly deal with the fact that our rights are being taken away. And we're either going to let that happen quietly, or we're going to put up some resistance.
Sir, you need to go back over here now. Go. All the way over there. Thank you.
Get your hand off me.